really hope I'm in frame and in focus. Hold on, let's see. Okay. Hi guys, long time no see. It's story time. Before I get into this video, I want to apologize because I was supposed to be making vlogs and posting them right after I posted my introduction video. Did not go down like that. I decided on not vlogging until I get my camera because I don't know, I just feel like it'll be easier because I'm trying to get a filming and a vlogging camera, and I feel like it'll be easier when I get my actual vlogging camera. So we're just gonna hold off for vlogging. So today's a story time. What should I title this? The time me and my friends almost got jumped. Yeah, that's a fitting title. If you want to hear the rest of the story and you want to know exactly what happened and how it went down, make sure you keep on watching. This took place, I'd say, I think it was my 8th grade year. 8th grade? 8th grade year. I'm gonna change names in this story, mainly because I haven't talked to the people in this story a long time. I'm just gonna change the names for everyone. Let's get into the story. I have to give you guys a background. So I had these two friends in middle school. We're gonna name one of them. Okay, I have an idea. I just sat here and wrote down fake names for each person I'm gonna be talking about. I need that way I can remember them and I don't have to, and I don't accidentally say their name and then have to bleep it out. All right, so the main character in this story, what all of this is revolving around, we're gonna name her Sandra. That's one of my friends. And then my other friend in the story, we're gonna name her Adriana. So it's me, Sandra, and Adriana. This started, everything leading up to it started because Sandra got a boyfriend, and we're gonna name him, I didn't make a name for him. We're gonna name him Jake. So Sandra's dating Jake in the same, me and Adriana lived in the same neighborhood, and then Sandra lived a few houses down off of the street. So I hope that makes sense. Me and Adriana lived in this apartment complex, and then Sandra lived down this road, because our apartment complex was this, and there's this road, so it's right here, and then there's a road like this connected, and Sandra lived right here. So we all rode the same bus, and we were all on the same bus stop. All right, that's kind of a part of this too, that all of us rode the same bus. Okay, remember that we all rode the same bus, we all lived together, lived near each other. Sandra got a boyfriend named Jake. Jake was bad boy. Was he a bad boy? Did he want to be a bad boy? I don't know what to call him. Just know he was way too old to be in our grade also. Just saying, he was way too old to be in our grade at the time. So Sandra and Jake start dating. Me and Adriana are woo, happy because that's our friend and we support her relationship, whatever. We kind of just we needed to get to know him first before they were together, because you got to look out for your friend. So at first we were kind of don't mess with him like that. And she probably shouldn't have, because we wouldn't have been in this situation if she did not. Thanks, Sandra. Sandra was the baby of our group. We had a really big friend group, but that's too many fake names to come up with, and they're not, the rest of the group aren't really involved in this. It's mainly us three, but we were all a big group, and out of that whole group we babied Sandra. Sandra technically was the youngest out of all of us. I'm trying to fix my shoe. So we took care of her no matter what. We always looked out for her. I have to admit, and my dog just choked. She's eating. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. Now, we need to bring in the other side of this issue. There was these two girls named Jessica and Taylor. Okay? We had always had a problem with these girls, I mean, it's not, we didn't actively have a problem, but they weren't the nicest or best people to be around. They caused problems. That's what they did. They caused problems all the time. So, we weren't too fond of each other. Like, our groups and their group were not too fond of each other. Oh, there's another person with that group. Jessica, Taylor, and Crystal. Okay, the other person is Crystal. Crystal came to our school later in the year, so she wasn't there at first, but then she joined Jessica and Taylor's little friend group. And it was a lot of them. So, a little jump in right now. My camera cut off a few times in this video, and this part is where there was a clip at, but I don't know exactly what happened during it. So it kind of looks like I just jump to the next part. So in between these two clips, I'm just saying how we hung out all the time, like before lunch, like before school, during lunch, and after school. And so when Sandra wanted to hang out with her boyfriend, we didn't really mind because we saw her all the time. So that's where we're at. Sandra was talking about hanging out with Jake during lunch this day instead. And we kind of just didn't really care about it. We're like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, go ahead, it's fine. So we didn't really pay too much attention to it. I had first period with Sandra, but I didn't have any classes with Adriana that year. So it's not like we saw each other throughout the day, except for those like 3 times. I think we went to lunch after 4th period. Like when 4th period ended, that's when we went to lunch. It was like afternoonish. We go to lunch. I didn't have lunch with Adriana and Sandra. Like, you had to sit with your 4th period teacher's table, or sometimes you could sit outside. And if we were allowed to sit outside sometimes, then all of us would sit together. That lunch, I'm sitting at my table. Adriana comes through the door, and she's like, Kiara, have you seen Sandra? And I'm like, oh, I haven't seen her since like 1st period. Like, why? Like, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, because she wasn't in like 3rd or 4th period, and I just didn't know like she was home or something like that. It's just, I don't think 3rd and 4th. I just think 4th period. She was like, yeah, I think she may have skipped class with Jake. And I was like, oh, like, okay, like, fine, whatever. I don't really think she would. Like, I know she had talked about it, but I don't really think she actually would or not. She was like, I don't really know. I just think she skipped class. And I was like, okay, fine. We kind of just, like, let it go. Eventually, we were kind of just like, like, if she skipped, fine, whatever. But, like, why isn't she at lunch? There was nothing, like, wrong with it. Like, we didn't really care. We were kind of just, like, a little worried. You know, like, your friend's not there and you don't know. So we text her. And she isn't answering, so we're just kind of like, okay, whatever, fine. And you only could really skip a class is by like sitting in the bathrooms. That's like pretty much it. Our school campus was like big, but it wasn't big enough to where you could just hide somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, you couldn't just find somewhere and stay there. Like, it wasn't that big. Like, but there wasn't like places for you to hide. You know what I mean? So if you were gonna skip, you probably had to like stay in the bathrooms, I think. Yeah, so you had to like stay in the bathroom. So we were like, oh, she's probably like in the bathroom or whatever. And towards the end of lunch, Adriana gets up and she comes back over to me, and she's like, oh no, like Sandra's still not answering. So we're just gonna assume like she skipped it, maybe like she went home or something. I don't know. And the bell rings. Like, lunch is over, the bell rings. And when the bell rings, it's like, go to 5th period, pretty much. So Adriana's like with me. Like, we stand up, we're getting ready to walk out the door. And we look through the door, and like, the courtyard was like empty. How my school was set up, you can't see this. Okay. So this is the front of the school. The office and the 2nd floor of the library on top, that's building 1. Building 2 is like mainly for 6th and 7th graders. The cafeteria, the band and chorus room, the gym, and then building 3, like right here. And then the courtyard's in the middle, and our PE field is behind the gym. I hope that was like a good enough. So we come out of the cafeteria, we look out the door, just because you just look out the door, and we see Sandra and like an administrator, like walking with her. And we're kind of like, what in the world? What's going on? So we kind of rush out a little bit faster. We go up to her. We're like, what in the world happened or whatever? And when we get up to her, me and Adriana at the same time kind of go like, because her neck is covered in hickeys. Dark, like big hickeys like on her neck. No. And we kind of look like, did you skip like 4th period with Jake? Or were you guys like making out in the bathroom? Like, ew. So we're kind of like gossiping like girls. She had got in trouble because they got caught. Whatever, they got caught skipping. So they got in trouble, whatever. Standing like in the courtyard, kind of just in the middle of the courtyard. And we hear people like talking, like being kind of loud. And we kind of look over and there's Jessica, Taylor, and like Crystal, like their friend group. And they're like kind of like cussing Sandra out. Like calling her a hoe, calling her a slut, like a whore, like all of that. Just because she had got caught skipping in the bathroom with her boyfriend and like she had hickeys all over her neck. I guess this had made the girls mad for some reason. Like, okay, she made out with her boyfriend. And this had made them mad, apparently. Like, really pissed. And throughout the day, they're talking about, it's going around the school that they're talking about jumping Sandra. There was no reason behind all of that. They were just like, because she got caught making out in a bathroom with her boyfriend, like, they want to jump her all of a sudden. Like, they want to jump her. Sandra is not the fighting type. Never has been. She wasn't nervous. She was, like, getting more and more angry. Because she's like, I didn't do anything. Like, it's one of those. Like, what do you... Like, seriously? She's getting mad because she's just tired of it. Like, we're all just tired of it. And at this point, she's, like, ready to fight. Like, she's ready to fight. And me and Adriana are getting kind of mad, too. And now we're all ready to fight. So they're... Throughout the day, they're just talking about, oh, they're going to jump. They're going to jump Sandra. They're going to jump Sandra. We're going to beat her butt. We're going to, like, whatever. It's this whole big ordeal. And everybody's talking about it. Now, because we're her friends, I have never believed in jumping somebody. Never, ever have believed in jumping somebody. But if you're trying to jump my friend, like it's 1 against like 7 hoodlums, and you're gonna jump my friend? No. No. It is not working like that. We're all jumping in then. Like, me and my friends are going to jump in too. Because you're not going to you're not going to do that. That's not fair. So if you're going to jump her, we're going to jump in too. Like, you're not going to do that, pretty much. So we're all kind of, like, preparing ourselves to fight, pretty much. I think we were all wearing, like, a shirt, jeans, and tennis shoes. Those are fighting clothes, if you don't know. So I was also kind of just like, I don't really have to worry about really putting my hair up. Like, I may have, like, I always wore my hair, like, pinned back. Like, my bangs and, like, pinned back, all, like, cute, whatever. I always, like, had my hair pinned back. Anyways, so I was just like, I'm ready. It is okay. Fine. They want to fight. They want to fight. Fine. They have a fight. And at this point, we were so tired of them. Just egging us on and being so annoying. And they wouldn't leave us alone. So we're just like, fine, if we have to fight them, we have to fight them. Get it over with. Because we're not going to get ambushed, pretty much, and let them jump our friend. Or, like, us, like, whatever. The more we're all mad and we're all talking about it. Because that's what you do when you're mad. You just keep saying, like, keep talking about it. You keep repeating yourself. And now, word has gotten to them that me and Adriana will jump in the fight if they try and jump Sandra. So now, they're going, like... Now it's this big thing where they're like, oh, we'll jump all of them then. Like, we'll beat all their behinds, pretty much. It's so, like, it's so annoying. Whatever. But at that point, now, everybody's ready for a fight. Everybody's ready to fight. Everybody's ready to see a fight. We go throughout the day. It's the end of 7th period. And it's time for us to go to the buses. Me, Adriana, and Sandra had decided, hey, we're going to meet up in the middle of the courtyard and then we're going to all walk to the buses together. And so that's what we do. I come out of class had language arts 7th period, I believe. And so I was upstairs, 3rd building. They were downstairs. So I just said, hey, just give me like a minute or so and I'll be down. Like, I'll meet you guys down there. We meet down in the courtyard. And I don't know if you guys have ever like had to fight or been in a fight, but there's a feeling you get when you know that there's going to be an altercation. It's almost a little bit of nervousness, but it's adrenaline. The adrenaline is way more powerful than a nervousness. It almost overshadows it because you're like so like ready almost. You're kind of like really jittery and like ready to go. Like you're ready. And so you're ready. You're ready to fight. You're ready to go. And so we all meet in the courtyard and we're talking. We're like telling Sandra, me and Adriana are telling Sandra, look, stand in the middle of us. I was going to be standing, like she's standing in the middle, meaning in the middle, like we're lined up like this, side by side, but Adriana kind of takes a step back at an angle, and I take a step forward at an angle, and Sandra's going to be in between us. Like in the middle of us, but she's also in between us just a little bit. Because I don't know if you know things about really petty, like girls, but they'll try and catch you from the back of you. Like they'll try and catch you off guard. I hate those type of people. Like if you're going to fight somebody, fight them like face to face. Like be straight up with them. Like be one-on-one with them pretty much. Like if you guys have an equally shared problem, do you need to be equally addressing each other? Like especially girls at our school, they try to come up and like hit you from behind. We start walking. I reach back and I grab onto Sandra's hand. She has her hand on Sandra's like backpack, and we start walking. Like we kind of like prepared ourselves for a little bit because we knew the second we went through the gates of the cause remember how I told you the school was set up? This is the 3rd building and this is the gym. The doors right here led out. That like you could use them to go all the way to the PE field, but out if you turn instead of going straight out to the PE field, if you turn left, that's the bus ramp over here. Okay? Behind the 3rd building is the bus ramp. And we had to go over there. So right before we get it ready to go out that door, we're like preparing ourselves kind of. And we go through the door. I grab onto Sandra's hand. Adriana grabs onto her backpack. And we start walking. Because we're not trying to fight. We're only going to if we really have to. So the main thing we're trying to do is just get Sandra to the bus. That's the main thing. We're just trying to get her to the bus okay. That's pretty much it. We're just trying to get her there safely. So I have her hand. Adriana's on her back. And we're just going. And there's a lot of kids out there. So we're kind of ducking and weaving between people. Because we're trying to walk fast. I walk fast naturally anyways. But Sandra does not. She's kind of short. She has bigger hips. And so she kind of does a little tiny waddle. And it's really cute. She can't run either. Because when she runs, it just looks weird. It's really cute. But, like, she can't, like, run. So I'm kind of dragging her almost. And she's kind of, like, stumbling a little bit. And we had barely even made it, like, 10 steps out of the door. And you can just hear girls. They come right out the door right behind us. Like, they were waiting. They come right out the door behind us. So you hear them bust through the door, and they're just talking. So I'm still walking and dragging, but I look back, and it's this giant group of people, like of girls. It was way more than their friend group. It was this big group of girls, and they're all just cussing us out. It's like, oh my God, like it's only 3 of us. We're like, we can't do that. So now at this point, we're trying to like just hurry up and get on the bus because there's so many of them. Like, oh my gosh, we're just trying to get to the bus. And the leaders of the group, of course, are Jessica, Taylor, and Crystal. They're walking right in front with everybody. Adriana she's turned this way and she's talking like back to them. She's holding on to Sandra's backpack, but she's turned and she's like going back and forth with them too. At a point, Adriana gets like pissed, I guess, because she lets go of Sandra's backpack and she drops her backpack like she's finna start fighting. I turn around. Usually I act like the mom of my friend groups. So she turns back and she drops her backpack like and Sandra does the same thing too. I'm like, are you guys stupid right now? We can't take on all of them. I'm like, I don't even know half of them in that group. Like, I don't even know what's going on anymore. They kind of dropped their, like, they don't, Adriana actually drops her bag on the floor. Sandra just drops her bag, like, down her arm. Like, from off on her shoulder, she drops it down her arm, kind of. And she kind of turns around like, what? And I turned, she, like, pulled out of my hand, too. So I turned around, like, no, we're not doing this. And I grabbed Sandra by her arm, and I yank her forward. And I was like, we're not finna get our behinds whooped because of you guys. And I grabbed Sandra, and I trade her off to my other arm, and I yank her forward. And then I grab Adriana, and I start dragging the both of them. So I'm like, speed walking, because I can't start running, because then we'll, like, attract the attention of all the, like, administrators. I don't know how they're not seeing any of this anyways, because these girls are so loud and they're like right on us, like they're right behind us. So I grabbed them, and now I'm just dragging. I'm like, come on, like, let's go. Like, we're not doing this right now. Like, let's go. We need to get her out of here, Adriana. Like, I'm like trying to let her remember, we have to get her out of here. They're trying to jump her. That they're gonna fight us too, but they're trying to jump her. So I'm like, let's go. And we're walking. Our bus was all the way, like, our bus was all the way on this side. So we had to walk all the way over there. And our bus was, like, one of the third buses in the line, too. And I was like, oh my God. At this point, I'm almost running, but I'm jogging almost. So I'm yelling, like, I'm just yelling at them and yanking them. And these girls are still just, like, screaming and hollering at us. And we get to, like, on this side of the buses. There's usually not really administrators standing on the opposite side of the buses. They're usually here and over here. But we get over here, and there's not really, like, any administrators or stuff. Some of the bus drivers are standing outside waiting, like, by their buses. But that's it. At this point, we're kind of running because I'm dragging them so fast. I'm, like, practically holding their stuff because I'm trying to keep them moving. And, like, our bags and our jackets and stuff are just intertwined, and we look a mess. So I'm dragging, and we're still walking. Adriana doesn't care anymore. And she's, like, breaking out of my grip, and she's trying to go fight these girls. We make it, like, I'm still dragging her, though, and we make it right in front of our bus. So our bus was parked 3-4 feet away from the curb. There was, like, a little hill thing onto the curb like this. So it was, like, a little grass thing, and then this is the curb. And then our bus was, like, over here, like, a few feet away from it. So we get, like, right there, and I'm like, finally, thank God. And I just see Adriana. I turn, like, I blink, and I turn, and I see Adriana looking like she's fighting already. I just see, like, a lot of hands moving and stuff. And I'm like, oh, my God, she's, like, fighting already. So I turn to Sandra. Sandra's putting her stuff down, like, she's trying to turn around and start fighting. And I just turn to her, and I look at her, and I said, and I grab her by her shoulders, and I grab her backpack, and I throw it at her, kind of, like, at her back. And I said, get on the bus. And I just push her onto the bus. I had kind of thrown all of our stuff with her, and I push her up the stairs, like, onto the bus. I'm like, get on the freaking bus, Sandra. Like, get on the bus and go get our seat. And now I have to deal with Adriana over here. So I turn around, and I'm, like, yelling. I'm like, Adriana, come on, let's go. And, like, we're fussing. And, of course, the girls are calling us, like, punks and, like, oh, we're scared and whatever. And I'm kind of mad, too. So me and Adriana kind of mad. Like, no, y'all trying to, like, jump us. Like, y'all the ones who's scared because y'all can't fight your own battles. Oh, you can't fight your own battles. You got to have your little friends doing it. And we're just arguing. And I finally get Adriana on the bus. I push her up in front of me. And then I'm the last person on the bus. The girls stopped. Like, they were never ones to just come up to you and start fighting. They were ones who, like, stood away from you and, like, fussed and argued with you. Get on the bus. Our bus driver did not play. She didn't at all. So, like, our hair is messy, like, we're sweating, like, we're hot, we're probably musty. We get to Sandra, and Sandra's, like, huffing, puffing, she's mad. Our bus driver comes to us. She comes walking down the aisle, and she's, like, fussing at us, pretty much. She's, like, fussing at us, kind of mad or whatever. Yeah, but she's mad at us or whatever, because she's just mad at us for all of that to happen and stuff. I think we got suspended off the bus. We did get in trouble for that. I just can't remember exactly what our punishment was. But we got in trouble too. Like, the girls, like, the next day, we, like, had to tell the administrators and all of that. And we did kind of get in trouble, but it was, like, a big deal. The other girls, they all got in trouble, like suspended and stuff. The 3 main girls, like Jessica, Taylor, and Crystal, they actually got like suspended and referrals, I think. We didn't really know all the other girls. Those were just the 3 main girls that we knew were there and knew who like started it. So they got like suspended and got referral. Nothing really happened. As a result of that, nothing really happened. Sandra broke up with Jake not too long after that. When those girls came back to school, they were so mad. Like, they tried so many times to fight with us and argue with us because we got them suspended, like we got them in trouble. But nothing ever really escalated. Throughout middle school, like with those girls, we never fought them. Like those 3 girls, we never fought them. Like at all. I have a story, like my own personal story with Crystal, but we'll save that. Because it's not that long of a story, so I guess it'll be like a mini story time. Like, I'll do like a whole bunch of stories in one video maybe, because that's like a mini story. I have my own story with Crystal and Taylor. Like, I have a story with Crystal and I have a story with Taylor, so I could talk about those if you guys want me to. That's gonna be it for today, guys. That's the story of how me and my friends almost got jumped over a boy. Wow, we literally almost got jumped over a boy. I'll probably make another storytime video, but with a whole bunch of mini stories. And I'll probably do like a whole bunch of mini stories, like of growing up with me and my brothers. That's like what I really want to do. I have so many stories, like with my family. Thank you guys for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, you hit your notification button, you leave a like and a comment down below if you enjoy the video and if you have any suggestions for me. Oh, make sure to check out my last video. My first video on YouTube was my introduction video, and I hope to see you guys next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.